I now call to order the April 9th, 2026 meeting of the Hurley Zoning Board of Appeals. Do I have a motion to open the meeting? I'll do it again. Motion made by Alex. Do I have a second? Seconded by Karen. On the drill tonight.
I was slow.
See, I have the site, it's the site,
Yes, the sight line.
yeah.
All board members in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor, none opposed. Let the records show that listed Freeman is not in attendance this year. Please rise and join. Please join me and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very much. Okay, so the first thing we do is usually a public comment period, which any members of the public here who want to address the board about anything on the agenda this evening are welcome to make comments to us. However, if you're here for something that we have scheduled for a public hearing, there will be ample time for comments made at that time. So if there are any members of the public here that have any comments to address the board, now would be the time. Nothing? Nobody? All right. Going once. Going twice. Third time. I motion to open and close the public comment section of the meeting. Motion made by, or second by Karen. All board members in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor, none opposed. Let's get right into our first order of business, which is the public hearing for rural restorations for the property of 250 Spillway Road. All board members, perhaps except Paul, may be familiar with this. Did you get your access to the drive?
I do.
Okay, excellent. So this is a continuation of the public hearing, which we had at the prior meeting. The meeting prior to that, which I believe is going back to January at this point, because we didn't have a February meeting, is when we heard from the applicants. Do not see her here this evening. Is there anybody representing the applicant?
I am.
Yep. Can you state your name for the record?
My name is Chris Burton.
Okay. So let's, being that everybody seems familiar with the application, I would like to make a motion to, reopen the public hearing.
You left it.
Sorry.
To continue the public.
Continue the public hearing on this matter. Do I have a second? Second by Karen. All board members in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor of continuing the public hearing. First off, we did have some additional correspondence from a neighbor, which specifically stated she would like her email read into the record. And you did receive that, correct, from me today? I think she only emailed me.
It's up here.
Since you're in my email, we kind of can just go into that. If it's easier, unless you copied it into the drawing.
Is I don't know how to put the so exact, but I think this is it. This email, it's 250 slow. It's
Are you looking
Yeah,
to?
might be.
it's one of these. Let's see.
You're in the second, I think second row, first one.
What is it?
That's April 8th. So that's
That would be the one. Dear Mr. Vogt, fortunately, I'm unable to attend the public hearing on Thursday, April 8th. For reference, this was, I believe, the same day. Yeah, previous. I'm looking at the copy of the survey sent to you. I neglected to mention that the road between the building front at 250 Spillway Road and my property line, there is an indication. What it says, right?
Indication, yeah.
Indication concrete that piece of property was purchased by the telephone company from Jim McQuaid, who owned the Red Vest restaurant at the time. We were not aware of the sale until the concrete pad was poured, at which time we were able to prevent the phone company from proceeding with their plans to install the equipment on our property line. Please advise me of any pertinent information that might be of interest to me in this case. With thanks to you and the zoning board members for your service to the town. Sincerely, Mary Hilder. And then in addition, we did receive the, response from the planning board, which we had asked for. I did send a link in an email to all board members. However, I may have left you off of that call.
What is this?
This was a response from the planning board at the last public hearing. We had requested that the planning board review the application and just give us thoughts. It was in,
Uploaded to.
That's
yeah,
it.
it
That's
is in the drive.
I saw
Yep. There it is. Right there.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't know that I want to get into reading this entire document. Yes, it is long. But if I can have a confirmation from all board members that they did in fact see it, review it, read it. Yay, everybody. In addition, there was a extremely long email thread that was also sent to us. I don't know that everybody had a chance to read
I did not read
that.
that.
No.
So that's in there as well. You can bring it up. I don't want to read. That goes on for
It does.
ages. But initially, the premise is this was an extremely long conversation that happened about this property prior with the planning board already. And this is going back and predating Paul Economos. I believe Tom Trinon was at the time the acting CEO. And there was already conversation regarding parcel and what the criteria was as far as the planning board was regarding. This is information that I was unaware of at the time. Expected in a application that had been going on. So being that this may be new news to board members here.
The email or the planning board?
Well, the email as well. This was added drive, and then I believe there was a determination as well from a previous zoning enforcement officer regarding the dwelling and the use. It was, I think that was in there as well. Where it was stated that the accessor or the apartments above were for owner use occupation only. That also was a conversation about that because the restaurant had not been occupied for 2 years, that it was then deemed, because it was not initially approved. Once it had not been used as a restaurant for 2 years, then that use was not legitimate or grandfathered in anywhere essentially. So those are in there. I know it's there. I saw it. Without getting into too much further ado, you representing the applicant, I would like to give you time to address the board on anything additionally that you have to present to us.
I don't believe I have anything additional. Unfortunately, Lauren wasn't able to make it. She got stuck, so she's usually the one she spearheads the development. We do that together also, but I'm more the construction side, but to be completely honest with you, so.
Can you do the mock-up of the?
You had any, I worked with the architect too.
Okay.
So, construction questions or concerns, that's more my area of expertise, but, Lauren's the one who's kind of working through the financing, and all of that stuff. So we have worked on it together, but I don't believe we have anything additional. What we've presented the last 2 weeks.
Well, it's extremely well put together. As I told her initially, I said, at face value, I think the board was very, liked it, well entertained, but as I also said, so once we get to a deep dive, there's a lot that could come out, which things are coming out at this point. We have kept the public hearing open for that matter because there's still gears in motion, so to speak. We still do not have the response from the county planning board.
Which was, Samara has reported that they met last night.
Mhm.
So I would expect like.
Did generally address it, correct? Yep.
It was on the agenda.
Should we discuss what the planning board wrote?
Yeah, that would be a good.
I mean, what I took away, I love housing, I'm pro housing, I don't think we have enough housing, but my opinion doesn't count, it's just, the laws in the town. So what I took away from the planning board, is that the lot, that it's more of a legislative issue and not a variance issue. That's what I took away from, that, because it is a undersized, non-conforming lot, that 210-51B said that any undersized lot in any district where residents are permitted such undersized, non-conforming lots may not be used for more than one single-family dwelling, and that neither granting a use variance by the ZBA nor a special use permit by the planning board provides a mean to supersede Article 7 and allow multi-family dwelling use. So what I was understanding from this is that it says the only remaining regulatory option is spot zoning amendment, for which only the town board has sole authority.
So there's just certain things within the planning board's submissions that I agree with, certain things that I do not
Okay,
are sufficient. There, you guys can always grant a variance. You have to follow the same criteria that you normally would for a technical use variance. Because it is non-conforming, that would change the scope of what the variance would be. Potentially, if that subsection 2 applies, or no, it's subsection 51B.
right,
However, if you look at subsection 51A, they
right,
talk about certain criteria, which then makes a non-conforming lot considered as complying with the minimum requirements, and no variance is required. So I think there is a good legal argument to say that basically you would look at this, even though it's a non-conforming lot, as still allowing for all the previous uses, which the previous uses would allow for 1, 2, or 3 functions.
okay,
And there would still need to be a variance if they were to be allowed to have, a multifamily dwelling with 7 units. So that question is still before you guys, but the criteria, this is a use variance. The criteria is
difficult.
yes. And I do agree with the statement that, these types of applications, you approve them, does more or less at this spot zoning or something that we could get into more in depth and jazz all future applications such as this one before. I think it is going to be a hard sell. I think that I haven't seen all of the economic data that is provided, but there is a requirement that they provide to show that there's a reasonable return, not that they can't maximize their return or get a more profitable return, but just that there's no reasonable return given the allowable uses. And the way I would read it is that as long as they meet criteria for A2, and I'm looking at some of it, one of the criteria is that the lot is more than 25,000 square feet, which is roughly an acre. This lot is 1.5 acres. I'm not quite sure with regard to how all of the require yard setbacks apply, but I would say that there is a good argument to be made to say that, the uses that are allowed in 2.5 zoning district, would be allowed here as opposed to what they're saying where we're going to get single family use, which that might actually create so it's something that you guys will consider. We can talk further when it's not prepared to make a decision. But the one thing that this is on account of, I'm not sure if it is close to within 500 feet of a municipal district, but it does seem to require the Ulster County Planning Board's review and their feedback with the transaction.
Okay.
So either way, I think it's important to discuss these things here tonight, but my legal recommendation is that you close the meeting. And then close the public hearing, close the public hearing, and then basically table the decisions until after you get the
County.
Would we still be subject to the 60 days
yes, 60 days to start.
with the county? Actually,
If the
respond
county,
in
yeah,
that
if the
time.
county does not, so the county has 30 days to respond. If they haven't responded within those 30 days, then yes, and it looks like it was submitted to the county on March 12th.
They were on the agenda, it was on the agenda last night, but they just hadn't.
So, especially you guys should have a response well with that. If you do not have the response in the next meeting, you guys can make a decision about that response.
Where would that we be after?
Maybe, or-
Like if we make a decision and the county comes back with something contrary to our
The county,
decision.
if they are not in case, so there's certain time frames for each, so it was referred to the county on the 12th. The county has 30 days to provide their decision back to us. If they haven't, and those 30 days are exceeded, then that's our, it is.
Okay.
It's the 2-year thing we discussed. It's operated as a restaurant for 2 years, so it's lost that designation. Does that further add to the potential hardship, the fact that it's lost its ability to operate under its original?
Well, that would be a consideration for you guys as well, that the potential hardship, but as you know, with the hardship criteria, you have to look at each and every allowable use in this district and show that. But again, you know, and it's something that you guys are more than welcome to discuss more tonight, go through some of the criteria. And it might be useful to ask the representative of the applicant here if they have additional information that they want to provide. I know I only glanced at the financial information that was provided, but one of the specifics in the criteria is that they need to show competent information showing that they're not able to have it. If we're going to say that, you know, it's allowed to have 3 units that are under.
She covered, may have covered that through this meeting.
Verbally. Yeah, verbally in that first meeting, they had done all the math.
They got
and
some
that's
ducks in
the
a
only-
row.
So that may be something that they would want to submit something so you guys have. For the record.
Yes, I know there was discussion about whether or not the 3 family units were allowed or not. I didn't see anything that didn't say it was. I believe that was allowable use, but going for 7 is, in my understanding,
That is where the use
how
variance
it
would come
came
into
about
play.
and came to us. Yes, correct. So, it would
I
be,
know we do have performers and I know that they're very tight. You know, for making that project viable, especially if we want to keep them affordable. You know, so that's a big challenge, especially with working with the funders, you know, and the requirements that we have to meet there. So, Lauren and I will prepare something to submit.
so we had, when Lauren first presented the application to us, I did read her the criteria that we have to discuss and go through again. The financial part of it seems to be a big exclamation point. So anything that you could submit to the board to show that would be extremely beneficial. But just for the board and for yourself as well, I'll reiterate these criteria that we have to go to. And one, the applicant cannot realize a reasonable return as demonstrated with competent financial evidence. So she said it verbally, that I don't know if that expresses competent financial evidence. Hardship is unique and does not apply to a substantial portion or the district or neighborhood. There's grounds to stand on that. Requested variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. And the hardship has not been self-created. So there is an argument to be had, I believe, on your guys' F for all those. If you want to take a picture of this, just so you have, did they say, oh,
I don't know if it's.
was that initial, was that included with the initial?
Yes, it's gonna be- yes, she typed it out.
Okay.
She went through the mission.
Is there financials provided?
I think
There
it's
was
just,
some tables or, but it,
yeah, this is just a narrative.
So the
Um,
scenarios would be 7 units versus 3 units.
if they're granted the variance, well, or hold on, I think we so stuff that to the site plan review. Yeah.
And this is-
But for the applicant to be prepared so that we're not missing something.
Yeah, so basically,
Just
there.
your scenarios.
So if you're granting. Right now, these are for the service. So to keep it. Yeah. I mean, it's just whatever number of. Well, you guys. But it's a grant, what they were requesting. Then it's. If you weren't granting any kind of use denied it. The art. It is one go. That is all that there. And we go far allowed. The additional. Special use permits. There. Always report to this. And. I don't think you guys are ever signed. The use has an open. The use of the fund under. Single family. Two family. Anything over crazy. Specify. It can be from multi-family property and specify.
Thank you.
Further discussion or question? There's a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
And there's moving, well, I shouldn't say moving items, but, pieces of the puzzle. We don't necessarily have it. I would also like the board to review depth documents that are on the drive, the additional ones, the narratives that are in there.
And the email chain.
Email change, it's long and lengthy. I did actually go through it. There's probably a lot of this stuff.
Who wrote where's the email chain coming from? Several
Email
different
chain
people?
is between, Lauren, the acting building inspector at the time, Maggie, the planning board, secretary. There may be another,
And they're all current within the last month or so?
No, that's 20.
going back
Okay.
a while.
Oh, this one goes back, okay.
Yeah.
To what, like How
I
long?
want to say 2022,
That's
2023.
2023.
Maybe 2020.
September, October, 2023.
Okay,
Oh,
July.
Okay.
Looks like May of 2023 through October.
so this property, so Lauren is your partner, correct? So Lauren she's been on this project since 2020, 23, 22? Okay.
You know, I think those original conversations started with Paul comments,
Okay,
then
I think it goes prior to that, because I saw Tom Tryon's name in there, which is previous
you
to.
talked to Tom about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
what was the gist of the emails? I mean, is there,
The feasibility, like, a large thing, what was needed, which direction they were gonna head, what they could do. It was kind of generally just that, we presented,
Figure out.
Lauren presented, like,
okay,
what can we do? What are our options? How can we proceed?
right,
Where are we gonna be able to go?
okay,
Essentially, still.
yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of stir the waters a little bit.
Yes,
and there's
exactly.
There's investment and money laid out and purchasing the property and all that, so. Development, architects, engineers, so before you get too deep, you kind of want to see what
Sure.
might be allowed. So
Stick your
those-
toe in.
Yeah, those conversations are, for now, 3 years ago, we're still kind of there.
Yeah.
The other thing, you might just want to be aware of, we anticipate, making, significant amendments to our zoning code, passing it at some point. Hopefully before the end of the summer. And there's all sorts of, different sections that are being reviewed and looked at. One of the major things that are being reviewed and looked at are the, different districts, to try to update, the uses allowed in those districts, as well as, even the, mentioning criteria and other things. So if you think that your particular parcel or the area your parcel is located, would more appropriately be zoned differently, you may want to send a letter to the town board just saying to understand that they are considering changes to zoning map and other changes to zoning code, and bring that to their attention that you believe this area would be more appropriately zoned. Differently, if types of uses, so that could be something that they would consider when they're looking.
Because those have not been designated by the planning board yet, those
Well, it's not the
different
planning,
criteria, so
it's not the planning board, the town board is the board that, has the legislation, makes the zoning more changes. They take into consideration, the recommendations and everything, planning board right now, the proposed changes, and development of those changes is being headed by our planning board, chairperson. And, that is something that, he's helping lead. So changes are being made, but if you bring the information to the board, bring the information to him, then it's something that will be considered. It may not even be considered. They might, overlook it if you think it's more appropriately. So
Ultimately, it's the town board
that ultimately the town board would be final.
so if I'm understanding everything correctly, we, are going to, close the public hearing, wait for the county, to do a determination, until the next meeting, wait for maybe some more financial information about, hardship from the
We
owner,
can all chew on it for the next one.
and, okay, and anything else?
Is there anything else we should
I
request
really-
to be able to look at this? Last piece, man.
from the applicant in silence. I just said,
To me, the
it sounds like,
financials are
you guys have already reviewed the criteria, as you know what the criteria is. The only real that is, is the critical basic documentation, the competent evidence showing.
Specifically, that would be the amount of units your request that virtually what would be. But being that the only, correspondence we've had from any, neighbors, who one lady who's reached out to us multiple times, we have everything from applicant aside from financials that we have requested. We have the planning board, and we're just waiting on the county. I don't see any reason that we can't close the public hearing this evening and begin our technically 62 days.
In regards to the email sent from.
It's just information for us to process, you know.
Is
What
it,
weight you want to
is
take.
it valid? Her assertion?
At the concrete pad?
Yes.
I don't
Do we
think
need
that
to care?
has any.
So there's nothing
at all in this application.
involved in.
So what happened like during the deed and title search and all that stuff is,
Just me.
Yeah, once again, you know.
I was like, is there
we
another
can-
surprise on there?
Our board can get flooded with, you know, just kind of details that aren't really relevant to our conversation at times, you know. Of course,
Thank you
any
for
neighbor
that.
that doesn't want to see something happen is gonna bring
I'll do
this,
that.
that, and the third. But you don't know that the concrete pad is relevant.
I would say as the construction guys, and regardless of what we do with it, there's a pretty good chance that concrete pad is gonna.
It was less the pad and more the assertion that the telephone company owned a piece of the baseball. That was.
It doesn't have any direct, you know. It's
Wait.
variance.
I'm gonna. Toss that right out of my skull.
Perfect. Well, I would like to make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Seconded by Alex. Any discussion about that motion amongst the board members?
No.
All in favor of closing the public hearing on this matter, verbal aye or show of hands? All board members present in favor, none opposed. And as we discussed, we will, hold making a decision on this so that we can all bring ourselves up to speed with everything, receive the Ulster County Planning Board's determination, review any extra criteria, and allow time for the applicant to submit any financial information that they can provide us.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. On to the next matter of business, which is a public hearing for the parcel at 105 Zeno Road. How do you pronounce his name? That's Nicola.
That's like a K in the CH.
Nicola. T.
Nicolati. Yeah.
Nicolati. Who is seeking, I believe it's both backyard and side yard variances for the construction of an accessory dwelling unit. Let's see, there needs to be a 15-foot side yard variance and a 40-foot rear yard area variance. And with that being said, I will make the motion to open the public hearing on this matter. Seconded by Alex. All in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor of opening a public hearing on this matter. Secretary, have we had any additional correspondence from anybody on this?
We had one neighbor call because the letter was very official and scary, and then
It does get scary.
I sent them the file and I haven't heard from them.
Okay. Excellent.
Can I ask who that was?
Kim?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she wasn't sure what she was supposed to do with the letter because it came to her town, it was on letterhead, and
That happens sometimes. You're
Yeah.
like,
she
you're
thought she
by
was
hand,
supposed to,
it's like,
she thought she was supposed to take an action of some sort, so she's like, so I explained what it was and sent her the file and prepared her.
I'll check it with them. Thanks.
But people weren't sure if it affects their property, like if we were building on their like what we're giving the permission to do, so.
Yeah. I wanna talk to them about it.
Did we happen to get this into
Sending it?
Drive? He handed them out, old school style.
Oh,
The last meeting.
then you know about.
It was
Yeah,
in
put it up
that,
there.
I believe it was in the application. Originally, but I may not.
Uh,
Everybody received that. He passes down all me.
Also have a false parcel viewer. Old school.
I didn't get that.
I think it was just the partial viewer that I had seen on there, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that, but if I,
well, you weren't even at the last meeting. So.
I have another copy.
I mean, you don't have to do it right this second. You provide a few things and
if you,
included
if
in
you would like, we can make a copy and get this back.
I have a
So is there anything additional you would like to press the voice? Obviously, presented the application pretty straightforward. You were concerned about a bunch of various trees that were there, correct? And it made sense to place this in the position that it was. Is there elevation grade differences too that were for you or somebody
That's
else?
much, I mean, it slopes down, so the further I go, north on the property, the more it slopes down, but yeah, so that's part of it, but no, there's.
Good questions for any board members for that? Well, the public hearing is open on the side.
I think you said last week or last month rather, that you couldn't put it closer to your house because of old growth trees, correct?
About old growth, but yeah, there's some really nice rock oaks that are in between. It also provides more privacy for both the ADU or the accessory apartment and the house itself.
And there is the leach field and the well that are
Right.
in proximity to the house in the centralized zone of that backyard area.
Mhm.
That does, yeah, obviously.
The
Yeah.
area highlighted, that's your property right there, the light green there?
It is, yes.
Okay. I see, what's, yeah.
Yeah, I have a printed out there if it's easier. Yeah.
We haven't heard from your neighbor to the back, correct?
Don, no. Talk to him daily,
Okay.
but, I still am waiting on him too, because he will also have to grant a.
An easement, you said, right?
I mean, I feel like that would be the best route in and parking wise.
That's the side road there.
Yeah. You know, so it's still up in the air. You know, he has been meaning to talk to his lawyer for a while and then he went away and then back, and so. Once we touch base, we'll be able to work something out, or we won't. You know. You won't see. That's what we can do that, but hopefully we can.
Is there a means for you to access this without having an easement on this parcel through the side yard?
Sure.
Or something?
Yeah, we can park in front of the house and then they can walk back. I wouldn't be able to do the construction without that road, but. Because what we're planning on doing is a future tab that goes on there, so to access the road. We can work on it. I also am not gonna. I wanna be a good neighbor. Not looking to hit the guy.
So you're basically saying if you don't get access to the road, you're not going to build the accessory apartment? Is that what you're saying?
I may not, I really may not,
Because you couldn't put the prefab down without accessing that side road.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would still have to drive on that road in order to put it down.
Right.
You know, could we park somewhere else and that person could walk through the rest of the time? Sure. But I'm really hoping that he and I can come to an agreement that works for both of us.
Okay.
I mean, given the setback of, 50 feet from the rear yard, I don't see how it would be feasible for him to obtain that at all. The side yard of 25 feet, once again, kind of given the partial dimensions, sets it directly, I don't know that 25 feet would be obtainable even.
I may not.
I don't even think you could do 25 feet from each side yard and even contain it centralized.
Right.
Given the parcel.
True. That's a nice-
We approved sheds similar sizes, whatnot. Same fashion, so I'm personally not against this, and I think the project is well thought out. And of course, as we were just speaking about housing,
Yeah.
accessory housing, I think would be beneficial. That's where my head is at. Is there any more discussion than anybody has?
I agree. I agree with you.
That being said, I will make the motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Second. Seconded by Alex. All those in favor, verbal aye or show of hands for closing the public hearing. All board members present in favor and opposed. Any further discussion on this matter? Or would somebody like to make a motion?
The question, after this process, if the board does approve, then, it's my understanding that we'll receive an email from the planning board with an application and then goes to the process.
I believe you would have to,
Email the planning board, email Maggie.
I would start with the building department.
Once I'd reach out to them, see if you can get the application, and everything for the special permit and whatever else is gonna be required, subject to.
I don't think they're gonna reach out to you.
I'd reach out to them first.
I know that was on the website though, they're like, after this happens, then planning for it, but okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean that they will initiate
No,
that.
I understand, yeah, I mean, so rather than email Maggie, maybe talk to the,
And I'll let them know tomorrow about the determination, because there's a file on you, CBA. So they'll be able to, there'll be an official determination written that you'll have in
okay,
maybe.
thank you.
Any further discussion, or would we like to make a decision on this matter this evening? I will make a motion to approve the variances as stated. Second, do I have a second by Adam?
I would recommend that you guys at least have a discussion, just go through the criteria for the work.
Oh, wait a second, did I completely forget that part? That's what we were supposed to most people say.
All right, you want me to read the criteria?
That's why you get the big chunks.
So,
Yeah.
prior to granting an area variance, the zoning board of appeals shall consider the following. First, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. Finished by the grant. Does anyone have any input or discussion on it?
I would say here our review of the applicant's application. And studying the details that no detriment to nearby properties will be created. Or change in the character of the neighborhood.
That remain agreement?
Yep.
All right, the next consideration is whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than the area variance.
I think we've seen that again.
Want to just point out some of the factors?
Well, for reviewing the rear yard and side yard setbacks and the size of the parcel, and the constraints of the leach field and the well, and some
Trees.
large mature trees, we will not be able to be obtained by some other method feasible.
All in agreement?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, whether the requested area variances are substantial. Any comment? Okay, no. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental.
Yep.
Only perhaps licensing.
You're all in agreement there?
Mhm.
All right, and then lastly, whether any alleged difficulty was self-created, it's a consideration that's relevant to your decision, but it doesn't necessarily preclude granting variance. Does anyone have any comment, as to, difficulty requiring a variance, maybe that was self-created?
Given the scope of the project, there is no other way to do anything without obtaining the variance.
Okay, and then lastly, does the board feel that this is the minimum variance necessary?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so,
Imposing any restrictions.
impose any additional restrictions on the variance? So now, you guys have all, considered, statutory criteria, anyone have, motion?
Well, I would like to make the motion to grant the 2 area variances requested as stated. Seconded by Alex. All board members in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor, none.
Thank you very much.
Your variance, okay, great. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I think I still owe you a check. Why would I?
They definitely have to get their variance.
It's too late, already closed.
We have to start all over again.
Can I get it?
Perfect, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not yours.
Yes.
I love it.
My info if you need.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, any questions?
Everybody.
Have a good evening.
Good luck with your easement.
Yeah, thanks very much.
All right. Well, moving on to new business, item number 3. This is, area variance for 160 Jeffrey Lane. The applicant is proposing to subdivide an existing 0.958 parcel located in R2 district into 2 lots, approximately a 0.45 and 0.5 acres. The applicant was denied the proposed subdivision as it does not meet the minimum lot criteria area requirements. Let's bring up that map, Samara, and welcome our applicant. Village,
Just to be
perhaps
clear,
we're all aware, familiar with it.
Good evening,
This is your
everyone.
third time before?
Thank you for all your volunteer
just
work.
to be clear, he's not the property owner, but we haven't notarized authorization.
We do have, okay, excellent. That was a,
Yep.
discussion we had at the end of the last meeting.
Yes, okay, and then. Just now?
That would be the one. Yep.
So in 2007, this is what the property looked like. In 2007, the previous owner of the house that's in the lower section, previous owner combined both lots into one larger lot. And what Ms. Kent would like to do is put it back the way it was prior to being split into two. Or excuse me, put it back the way it was prior to being combined into one.
She wants to split it.
She wants to go back to what it was in 2007
For the purposes of selling the other lot.
for the purpose of selling the other
We
lot.
are assuming that's.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
And we would keep the lots the same exact size as they are on that map as they originally were. One is about 42, right in the application.
So I have knowledge of these parcels because my grandfather and great uncle developed all these lots. On this road, which is named after my father. And so much of the lots, not only on this road, but in the entire neighborhood are of this size. Obviously, this was the size parcels originally. This predates prior current zoning for the area. The issue that happened on this particular road was that they were priced apparently extremely cheap for the IBMers coming in. So most of them bought 2 lots prior to building houses. So, on that particular road, a lot of there became double parcels because they just went, oh, give me 2.
So bought 4.
This is in the sixties?
Yeah.
Pre-zoning?
Oh, I'm assuming there was no zoning in the town, or if there was, it was not what it is now, restructured. So, and as the applicant was stating, Jerry, was that it was only up until recently they weren't 2 different lots. And the prior owner to Mrs. Kent, who owns it now, before selling it, decided they probably this is just me assuming, they didn't want to get into selling 2 different lots. 1 lot, sell them together.
And each lot has its own water curb shut off.
Yes, they are, each lot, it does have, it was built to have 2 different houses and made so that the water system would have 2 different functions there. So, I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said along those lines. The application is relatively straightforward, but being now that it was made into 1 parcel and now they want to go back to,
So why don't we discuss the actual area variance, or potential of the area variance?
so what is the minimum? Because I thought that 0.5 acres
Yeah,
was
0.5
the exact thing. So they're
Is
looking,
it, that's less than a total acre?
Each one is a little bit less than half an acre. The total piece is a little bit less than a full acre.
One's 0.45 and the other's 0.5.
Well, that was original, but on this application, we've adjusted that. One is going to be the one where our current house is on, is going to remain at 4.82, which was the original. And the new lot, which the original was 0.468, will go back to that. Each one is just
So there
under.
would be 2 separate, dimensional variances.
So the new lot is
One for each.
you know, because as it's written up here, that one will be 0.5 and one will be 0.45.
Right, but when I sent my application and I changed that, and this was the official one.
And the official one is going back to what the original dimension.
Exactly.
I don't know if the building department is six, but I don't know.
Well, we can,
But that's the
We
difference
can
between
change
it
it.
being 2 variances and 1 variance, right? Because it makes both lots a variance.
It's a little further down.
both lots.
Yeah.
Because that's a
And
hardship.
And quite frankly, when we originally put those numbers, 0.5. Our thinking was, we're not really sure what we should do. If we can leave one at 0.5 and make the other one smaller, we're happy to do that, it's fine. We're not locked into, we just thought it might be easier to leave it the way it was. But if it reduces one of the properties from having to go through that issue, we would make it
I would
0.5.
say that you're gonna have two non-conforming lots. It might be simpler, but it's up to you how you want to present it. But getting one variance as opposed to two, and then having two non-conforming lots moving forward in the future might create other potential issues. It might be more efficient to do the one, but again, it's really up to you as the applicant, what you're seeking. So ultimately, it's up to the board, what they want to do.
And would that require double payments for everything, separately, or is that all inclusive?
Assuming being that it's just one parcel at the moment.
It's one parcel at the moment, so it's one application. It's just a matter of how many variances are needed to
Right.
so it won't change the differences.
If we go through the criteria that you always go through, which I've answered those questions on here, I don't believe that they're both under half an acre. That changes anything.
Well, definitely wouldn't change anything for the house that already is there. Right, so if that one was the smaller, if that one was under 0.5, it wouldn't necessarily change anything for that. But if the lot that's being sold is 0.5, would that deter someone buying it? Because it would come with all sorts of,
But once it's approved,
Yeah, then
that's a good point.
I think she was saying.
but if
after
they're
the
both
fact,
under
yeah,
0.5.
when it does
then they're
get sold, if it turns into new construction, is new construction on a non-conforming lot. Create future headaches, then making the new lot a lot.
Harder to sell.
And those are considerations for you guys. I think that arguments can be made for either, because I'm assuming, bringing it back to the original, even though both of them will be slightly under a half acre, they'll each be, relatively the same size and closer to conforming than having one conforming and one that's, 0.5 of an acre smaller. As opposed to
And regardless of the difference of the acreage size. I don't believe, say that existing house, somebody bought it and then they want to do some additions to it or something like that. The difference in the acre is not gonna make them not have to come before us for setbacks, right? They're still have to come, and just same way undersized, non-conforming pre-existing lots have to come to us when they want to put a deck on or something along those lines. It's still
Right.
the fraction of the acreage is gonna change that.
What if one was 0.5, then they don't have to.
No, it'd still be held to the exact same setbacks.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, I would say to cover both parcels, we deal with a dual, under reducing the half acre lot, so.
either way, you can go with this
Point zero
original,
four eight,
or
or
go
go,
with the original or the to how the properties were, and you guys can grant either or, so that's something that gonna have to adhere and
We haven't accepted this,
we have not accepted yet.
Is there pros and cons with keeping the way it originally was for survey points, survey
I think that would
maps?
make your life a lot easier.
Yeah. If there's already pre-existing stakes and everything.
So that's why one of the reasons why we had switched.
To having two
Yeah,
be non-conforming as opposed to one being
That's right.
0.5.
That's right. Oh,
So do you prefer to go that route with existing, just make it exactly how it was prior? That would make the most sense.
that is what she would prefer, and that is what I would.
Well, then,
And then at the end, when that decision's made, we understand then both properties have to go through the process of the non-conforming.
Would assume only the existing house. I don't think would have to do anything. It's there. It would only be if something additional happens.
Grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Back when you want to do your ADU.
So I want to make sure.
It would only be the new parcel, or well, the new old parcel.
I want to make sure that her house, she's protected and won't have to go through any additional steps of, okay, now my house is now a small lot. I have to go through additional
Or
variances.
your house to add an addition.
That's, yeah,
Yeah.
if there's something
literally
with
cut the
the
house down.
setbacks, if there's something
So
with the
big.
setbacks or other things, but basically, the lot, once you have the variance, it's as though it is.
So we would like then to go with what's on here, going back to the original map measurements and sizes and survey points.
Reducing both parcels to less than.
Yes,
The 468 and the.
as long as it, again, doesn't affect her. And I realize for the new lot, I have to go through the process all over again about getting approval. Or the plan is potentially to build a small house there.
Nice. Limestone.
I know, it has to be looked at.
Any further questions, from the board before we discuss accepting the application? Which I think we will accept as reduce, there's subdividing two parcels, non-conforming lots as they were originally, as, and the numbers are already there.
Over 68.
Right. Well, I would like to make a motion to accept the application and schedule, classify it as a type 2 seeker action and schedule it for a public hearing at our next meeting, May 14th, 2026. Second by Kara. Any discussion amongst the board about that motion?
No.
All in favor, verbal aye or show of hands? Almost all present in favor, not opposed. For,
Thank you.
What is your, yellow contraption there?
So DeWalt inverter battery for charging
This
cell
is
phone.
a fancy battery charger. I couldn't find another one.
976
For your-
40.
For your cell phone?
Yes. When I came here, I had 1%.
Ah,
And I couldn't find my small one, so I apologize, I'm not.
I thought you were gonna
recording.
project, I thought we were gonna watch a movie or
No,
something.
this is,
It's a public viewing.
you can't.
I'm recording.
I wanted to impress you with my wall.
I don't know if I'd go on a plane with that.
Some walk-in music, you know?
No, it doesn't, yeah, that's it, just the charger. So just to clarify, is it too late to ask a question?
Yeah, no.
Not with that charger.
At the end of the day, would she get and let's say it's all approved, would she get a letter saying that, your lot is good to go, and you can sell it at any point you want, when you're ready, and this fact that you made it smaller, it doesn't.
She gets a letter saying that the variance was granted, then she still has to go back to the plan. Or subdivision,
Oh,
lot line adjustment.
Got it.
So, and my understanding was she already went to the planning board, they told her that couldn't be done
That's right.
because.
we have to come here for it.
So does she
Yes.
currently have the application pending before the planning board?
You tell me.
I think she was-
It wasn't even accepted, they basically just said that.
Right, we gotta talk to you guys. So when we do variances for both lots. Your understanding is it could be treated as one transaction, not two separate.
For the
Yeah,
purposes
it's
of
one-
this.
one parcel.
One application, one parcel. And then, once you have the variances, you go back to the planning board, they will assist with the.
Just because we say it can be done, doesn't mean it has been done.
Got it.
The planning board then will say, okay, you have the variance, and now we'll let you.
Understood. Just like last time.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
And then at that point, she's practically in clear, and you're in for a bunch more fun.
I know. Down the road. As a group to work with. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next one. That time, same that channel.
7:00.
On to item number 4. This will be a area variance for 12 Clover Street West Road. The applicant is seeking an area variance related to construction of a deck on an existing family dwelling located in the RC district. Property is pre-existing, undersized lot without municipal water or sewer and is subject to B1 setback requirements. Proposed deck does not meet the required rear yard setback, and the applicant is therefore requesting a 26-foot area variance. You folks are that, it's correct.
Hi, I'm Christina. This is my husband, Bill.
Hello.
Glad you guys have fun here. This is
Yeah.
it's pretty trying. We look awful familiar. GM cars? No? They look like one of my customers when I used to work at Romeo. The Chevy store. No? Okay. I'm just interested. Volkswagen. Okay.
Okay, so, let's, we have a map or a site plan or whatever you want to call it. Map to this, right?
Yeah, oh, everything's in this packet.
There's a bunch of back pages.
That's the back there. That's, yeah. So basically what we're doing is we're just filling in that corner. So it's not gonna go exceeding the back part of the house or the garage,
So essentially from corner to corner.
corner to corner. Yeah, just gonna be a,
Where the grill is?
Yeah.
yeah, the grill,
We're just gonna fill it.
that end is the
Back of building
garage.
goes like this, we're just gonna make it
Okay.
square it off basically.
Okay,
So we're not impeding on anything else.
you're not building out.
So it's
No.
essentially, the house itself isn't sitting within setbacks required. Correct.
That's before my time.
Is there,
Yeah.
um,
An aerial, I think it was above.
one more. No, I think there was one.
I think it's even lower than that.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah, there's still 2 more pages.
And that was the terrible shot. But that was the aerial.
This is what you're looking for.
Got to figure out what that was.
Is this from parcel view? This is all that I have.
Here's the under the one.
It's not like one picture.
Scan this whole thing.
Yeah, number 52. Part of that.
Go back to that one right there. Yeah, that one.
The garage in the house, same elevation?
Yeah,
Picture made it look like it was, one picture was like, yeah, it almost looks like they're offset from each other.
So where is the deck in the reference in this?
see
photo?
where it says number 28 feet?
Yeah.
68.
So from the back of the garage
Yep.
to my fence, it's 28 feet. But we want to build the matching size, which is 14 feet of the family room. So that would only give us 14 feet of a back. But I personally think that my backyard goes another 6 feet. I just never been on the pegs.
What's the end of the thing?
Still here. There's really nothing that I see that would prevent us from accepting the application and having a public hearing on the matter.
Nope, it's good to me.
Motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the, application at 12 Clover Street. Is it a type 2 seeker? Action and open up a public hearing?
Second.
There is a motion on the floor in a second. Any discussion amongst the board members about accepting this application and scheduling it for a public hearing at our next meeting, May 14th? Alex, he's been on every second. So,
It's just wrapped up on Tic Tacs.
So how do we need to?
all those in favor, verbal aye or show of hands? All board members present in favor, none opposed.
Thank you.
Your application will be scheduled for a public hearing at our next meeting, as you witnessed
Yes.
having going on. Your neighbors within 250 feet, I believe, will receive certified mailings about what your plans are, which may or may not spook them out. That gives them a chance to show up and
Now that
Say their
actually the
piece.
woman that lives across the street from us, her entire family owns that whole,
that whole corner.
actually, we can look at most of that Hamlet. And she's like the only living one left. So she is, yeah, it's amazing. She's a sweetheart.
90 years old, she's out gardening stuff.
Oh,
Good for
well,
her.
that's me.
Well, regardless,
Alice Rice.
she's getting a
Really,
certified
Really
mail.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And then, we'll address moving on from there.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Great.
Thank you for your time. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
and
Yeah.
like,
Or you can.
Actually, yeah, I mean, you can take it.
last one.
Yes,
And,
is it the last name? Is that what it was? Yeah, dropped out of
When
water.
you start with a B, it's always,
I know all about that. Generally, it's as we receive things. but-
No, yeah, I came in late. And it was 2 minutes.
We have to review and sing our referral letter because of. And we'll just.
Look through everything. We're not, okay, so last item of business for our new business, is an application for 42 Holland Drive. The applicant seeking an area variance related to the construction of a 3-season room and deck on an existing single-family dwelling located in the R1 district. Proposed construction does not meet the required rear yard setback of 40 feet. Structure proposed at 34 feet from the property line. Applicant is therefore requesting a area variance of 6 feet. And, if you could just state your name for the record.
Michael Van Valkenburg.
All right, and now is your chance to address the board and present your application of basically what you are.
So I'm looking just to, build the deck off the back. There's an existing deck and we're looking to enlarge and make a screened in porch, 3-season room. The whole house the house the way it is, isn't even compliance from back in the day for where the property line goes down the middle. I'm only 30 feet off the main part of the house, not including anything else the way the property is, because it kind of goes like this, or the property goes like this and the house is kind of like that.
Main reason this board exists.
So, I brought a copy of my map. I don't know if anybody wants that. But just, pretty much just use the backyard because I hate bugs. And that area is so wet and buggy.
I'll take a look at the map.
Yeah. We love aerial now.
Problem. It used to be an open ditch, and then a few years back, my children put in a culvert and covered it. So from here to here, where the property line is, it's only 38 feet there. Where the existing deck is, it comes out even less. So I was just extending this out. I think the original deck was 8 feet, I was gonna come out 24. And then go with the whole length of the house is 18. That's building coming out, when it comes out here, it's hitting the line a little bit closer.
I'm sorry. You guys, do you see that?
And I do have, I mean, I had, other stuff that and then,
Michael, anything you had in the application, I have on.
oh, you should have, yeah, so like I said, is I have all the, yeah, everything that I just figured, you know, because it can show kind of what's in there.
There, and it's on this side here? Okay,
Yeah, and I,
right here,
well, this is my house here, so
Right.
where it's on this side here, there's a neighbor here.
okay.
And literally, he has no problem with it. You know, I mean,
So the proposed construction is,
it's pretty much, we're coming off the whole back of the house,
okay,
making it all one. And to even try to shift it, it wouldn't work because of the back doors that are here, because I thought about maybe shifting it this way.
uh-huh,
But to shift it, I have to basically build a whole new wall and move the doors. I was trying to do it without the variance code. Like I said, if he doesn't have a problem. I mean, if you're going by neighbors, 250 across the street, I don't think they should have a problem. The lanes aren't gonna have a problem. It's not gonna really affect it on their side.
do you wanna see
I
that?
would like to see.
Yeah,
You see it?
I can see.
Just where it says deck, that's the proposed.
Well, that's the original deck that's on there. Basically, what I'm doing, I think the deck now is only like, 10 by 8, just a small one. I'm proposing 18 feet, the whole wide of the back of the house
Mhm.
by 24.
Right.
So when you come out to the 24 here,
That's where
this is where you're having the issue with the feet. But like the original part of the
it's
house,
kind of like a weird, kind of like.
yeah, this,
offset.
yeah, because the way the property is, if the house would have went in straight,
Sure, the whole house.
we shifted.
Well, you sure you can't take the whole house and just move it and make it straight?
Sure, if the town really goes pay for that.
So it ends up being at its closest point, 19 feet.
and it's 25 foot.
Just, yeah, a drawing from up to one of them that shows the proposed.
I mean, it's kind of there just without the.
I think that's simple now.
This one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I mean, here's, I mean, a paper copy if you want to.
Karen, are you looking at the other drive?
Yeah, where, tell me where it is. It's part of the application. Page 9 of 10.
Yeah. It's just that, not a structure.
No, it's gonna be, well, it's just gonna be streets.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to not have the application. Uh,
I'd like to make a motion to accept the application to
I'll
seek.
I'll second just so I get to say something.
Hold on, I'm not finished.
I'll make the minutes.
And, open up a public hearing for our next meeting on May
14th.
14th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And seconded by Paul. Any discussion?
Congratulations to Paul on his first second.
Jump right in there.
I waited till the end.
Way to go.
I think he was sleeping, he was snoring over there. That's the time to wake up.
It's his first meeting.
Eric Charles, first meeting, no.
I'm the rookie.
All those board members present in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present in favor, none opposed. You'll be scheduled for a public hearing. All your neighbors within 250 feet will get the certified public letter so they can come and say their piece. And, yeah. Unless nothing crazy or weird comes out, usually these types.
Yeah, like I said, it's the main neighbor that's been affected, him and I already talked, and he doesn't have a problem with it. I haven't really talked with the other neighbor, I haven't seen him outside, but I don't think he'd have an issue. And then the people 250 feet, which would be across the street, I don't think he'd have a problem, but it wouldn't affect them in my, you know, I just, you know.
Michael, did you give me the application fee also? Did you get
Oh, you need a bowl, you want a bowl?
Yes.
All right, just leave another check.
Well,
So what was it? One was 125, right?
For experience, yes.
There you go. Same here.
I've noticed your pen and everything.
I have never seen one of those since I was in like seventh grade.
I used to love those. But it's so.
You mean the different colors, like you put around the.
Yeah, like the old, like.
Yeah.
The corporate,
Yeah,
guys, the
retail.
corporate
There's
guys,
someone that
well,
was
next time you'll see one, remember they started making like 12 or 20.
Yes.
This snazzy, like tech meeting guys love the colored markup. So there's like unresponded in purple pull up on email. So I'd like to see the, I'd like to see the analog version.
I'm gonna send out a
Yeah,
letter letter.
has to go together,
Me for
because I hate.
agenda.
There's
All
someone
right.
like.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. No problem.
Moving right along.
Oh, I know, I know, it's together.
Very far.
Meets.
Everybody reading this? Yes, copy.
Just reading them now, I didn't.
Or has one as
Anybody
a-
need a copy?
Paul, you don't have.
Yeah, abstain. My first abstention.
Just say, what a day for you.
I like easing into it.
Don't worry, I'll run this right into the ground.
I'm not. Stay under the radar.
Yeah.
Under his sleep over there.
Typos are one of the ways to accomplish.
Well,
That was impressive.
I regret it.
what are you saying?
And I don't know if anybody noticed, but Bessel Road, 135 Bessel.
Yeah, why did
They
they,
pulled the application, there's an illness, so they're not going to have to contact.
I don't know, the dancers. Oh, it's sad.
That is.
Don't want to hear that.
What's the story with the building inspector? Yeah.
Yes, we hired a new building inspector to replace Paul, who will be,
What's his name?
William Spencer.
What's it?
William Spencer.
Have you met him?
I was playing.
How long do you think it's gonna last?
And I was so focused.
We didn't have run a town hall, and he didn't run that.
It's so relaxing.
He will be able to attend meetings, and we'll get a format that's consistent for all.
Yeah, do you want to, once we get settled a little bit, schedule something and we can sit down and
Yeah,
go through so you know, some trends, you know, and he's worked out with some CEO. What's that?
He's done a lot of, he's done, I don't know, I'm close to 3 hours. He's done
Just
a lot
so
of,
on the same page.
schedule meeting with the ZBA or with you.
Yeah, just like, I think the last one, but it's more like you have, you're spending
Got it.
chicken around for 13.
They're gonna add some extra trails in there too.
Can you just
Say in the very least.
It's coming back around.
So you get
Still.
Troll balls. Trolls.
Okay, sounds good.
Or it's like, no.
Blue bear, yes, remember?
Remember those? Is that any troll balls? Order.
Trolls.
You want kids into right now?
Oh,
What?
I think that.
I don't know
Are they bad?
where it came from.
I don't
There's
see,
built too late of them.
We had just spent the last 4 days watching
Is there
TV
something
shows.
missing?
I came down, I was like,
I
nice
don't
job,
see
Jan.
anything. Do you see anything to change on the beds?
Well, yeah, did anybody find Harry
I didn't
errors
see
or
anything.
I don't know.
In the minutes,
edits to the minutes?
Just, there's one last.
I just spell check thing right now, it whizzed through, but all the.
Warren's last name is spelled wrong.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
Show beats.
Does it sound human or?
What's the spelling of your name, Paul?
First page, MAGARIL.
So Mike
And
made that and I
My
said,
entire life is.
Mike made that himself. And then I said, oh, you left out like the A, so can you get another letter into the
It's
A?
because we're out, we're out.
It says AI now.
Yeah.
Who made it? AI.
Oh, okay.
AI made it. See, it doesn't look like AI. All right,
I've been halfway there.
back to the vote. Did anybody find any errors?
I already reported it.
Where's the?
First page,
Warren's name?
Warren's name.
Oh, great.
How do you spell your name?
There's two of them.
It didn't matter. It's better on the bottom.
I would say just put a Y.
Almost always spell my first name. Last name, I'm okay. First name is more specific.
Like Warren.
Let's get Eric.
Or it's second.
I can talk about
All right.
Or it's
Any
so much.
further?
Like, what the board?
I make a motion to accept the minutes with the edit.
to make it more plural.
Making
I second
Warren
that.
plurals.
I second that motion.
Second, there's a motion on the floor with a second. All board members in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present except for Paul, who,
Was not present.
Yes, he abstained.
stays.
All right.
Anything else that any board members would like to be?
How old's William Spencer?
Well, we could do this off.
Is he 65?
Okay, I will make a motion now to adjourn the April
I
9th.
second that motion.
Early zoning board of appeals. There's a motion on the board to adjourn.
Second.
Sorry, all in favor, about 7, 8, 9, 10. All board members present in favor and opposed. Meeting over. Where's my Melinda at?